An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. The give to Howard running left. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he showcases the spin. A pretty good gain before he's taken down. It's a pickup of 7, and it is also the final play of the first half. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. So we have reached halftime here in the Thursday night opener. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the 2nd half. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the 2nd half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. But one thing's for sure, they're still taking their shots downfield, even with a big lead.
I think it's way too early to go into a shell, so I like what they're doing. Continue to take your shots. Continue to be aggressive. It's not their job to slow themselves down.
Now Howard, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
From our vantage point, that was just one bad play by the offensive line in a series of really good ones tonight, but I know that they're going to be really ticked off. It's a lot like a baseball pitcher losing a no-hitter late in the game.
53's the mic. 53. Check 53. Hey, let's get them holes.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the 2nd half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone, gone. Gone, gone. 56.
They're going to look to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
On 3rd down, that's Ellis. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
This is taken at about the 14. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15, and the Bears take over. Onto the field now come the Bears. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
But that certainly felt like an example of a defense just saying, okay, we've had enough. We've gotten mashed all night long. About time we got a good play in. But flip it over to the offensive side. They've got to be really upset that they allowed a play like that to happen. They were pitching such a great game. They want to keep it going.
Again, it's Howard. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a 3rd and about 9 to go.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
4 down. Detroit! Detroit!
To throw is Watson. To throw on 3rd down. He's got the hook up to Miller. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Watch it now, Barney. Barney. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I think the Bears have recovered. They have.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect
No
him.
one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
We got 3 down. Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They go with Howard again. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
He's had a big game tonight, and while no one's going to be overly concerned about that last play, you also know that the offense coordinator does not want to see that happen again. They want to get back to doing what they've been doing all game long.
Now it's Watson. And he's unable to haul it in, so it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field, and that brings up 4th.
In the early days of the NFL, you could easily blame these drops on maybe some uneven or uncertain lighting in a stadium. Not anymore. The lights are pretty good.
Yeah, they're great here at night, but his second drop, indeed, not a good look. So not sure how they feel about that. They had golden field position to start the drive after the fumble recovery, but they went backward and then got 3.
Well, let's go from gold to silver, because the silver lining is they got the 3, right? You were talking about the golden field position. They didn't take advantage of it. That has to feel like a letdown.
You always stand ready to pounce. Always. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Being chased out left. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your number one cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Gun, gun! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit! Hut!
They'll look to throw here. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. So this defense clicking early in the year. Week 1, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
Extra point right down the middle, and that will extend this big lead. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. You got to hold on to it.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Dancing, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they'll be inside the red zone with the ball at the 16-yard line.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the 4th quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. They run with Howard. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from the 1. Trying to punch it in with Howard. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
On 3rd and goal, Howard. And not only will he not get the few inches he needs, he's going to go backwards. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. And Butker able to put this one through. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Flush to his right. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Steps away to his left. Throw left side, taken in by Washington. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. He got 29 yards that time.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Watch it now, Barney.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
And he fires one, but incomplete.
Basically, you're not going to outwork 2 guys very often.
Double coverage. I thought he was going to go somewhere else with the football. I get it. That's a stud wide receiver. You want to try to get him the football.
Yeah, sometimes you rely on him a bit too much. You forget the other options that are out there.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you've won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that... You know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Ah, yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from their first one and blew out the Seahawks.
The Bears on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12.
Now let's go. Boo, Landy.
Here's Watson. Open man is Miller. He's got it. And he's got the first down. Yardage before being taken down at midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Leopard! Leopard! Gone! 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 Here we go. Check him up. Gone! 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 Gone!
Throwing now, Watson. Flushed out right. And that's incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Detroit! Detroit! Tight dog, tight dog, tight dog. Watch him now, Barney, Barney.
And they'll run it here. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
The Bears on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd down and 12.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Back to throw, Watson. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw, trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
Watch him now, Barney, Barney.
And they'll go on the ground. Able to bust through the tackle, but not much to show for it. Still inside the 5. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, not a gain that you're going to go crazy about, but when you start at your own 2-yard line, any type of space is good for the offensive guys.
Yeah, you just can't go backwards from here. They did it. Now we'll see if they can keep it on schedule here on 2nd down. Well, my friend, for the players, it's good for them to get that first game under their belts. For you and I, that first Thursday night game, also good for us to get that under our belts, wasn't it?
It was no longer preseason. We were into the regular season, the first game of the year. And, you know, all eyes were watching this one. Everyone was excited that football was back.
And it's just special. You could just feel it. It's so good to have the pigskin back out there. It'll be crisp fall weather before we know it.
You got that right, but I love the build-up to it, right? All day long anticipating it, and then we got here and we saw a game, the first game of the year. Let's keep going.
So for the Bears, they begin the new campaign with a victory here in front of the home crowd in the Thursday opener. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face the Giants next week. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel up to Detroit to take on the Lions. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.